Hello friends, welcome to our channel B2C Beginner to Champion for Competitive Exams. Today we will be looking into weekly current affairs section of B2C starting from October 3rd week, and it's part 1 here. We will be covering current affairs related to international news, national news, sports news, agreements and MOUs, awards and honors, and few other news which will be included in the miscellaneous section. First of all, we will look into international news, and here we go. The first international news is Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, wins a landslide victory in the general elections, and she is re-elected as the Prime Minister for the second consecutive 3-year term. The capital of New Zealand is Wellington, and the currency of New Zealand is dollar. The next news in the international arena is Singapore becomes the first country to use facial recognition to pay taxes. Singapore becomes the first country in the world to use facial verification for paying taxes using a SingPass face verification included in the National Identification Database. The Prime Minister of Singapore is Lee Hsien Loong, and the capital of Singapore is Singapore City. The currency of Singapore is Singapore dollars. With this, we come to the conclusion of international news, and from international news we move on to national arena, and the first national news would be CRPF collaborates with IIT Delhi, DRDO, JATC to augment R&D capabilities. CRPF is the country's largest paramilitary force, known as Central Reserve Police Force, has collaborated with IIT Delhi, the Indian Institute of Technology Delhi, the DRDO Defense Research and Development Organization, and JATC, Joint Advanced Technology Center, to augment its research and development capabilities. According to the MOU signed, the CRPF officers and subordinate officers will be trained by IIT Delhi in association with joint research projects undertaken by DRDO and IIT Delhi in the field of defense security tech solutions. GK to be noted here is CRPF Director General is AP Maheshwari, and the headquarters of Central Reserve Police Force is New Delhi, India. The second news in the national affairs is Education Minister addresses ASEAN PhD Fellowship Program. The Union Minister for Education, Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, has virtually addressed the students from ASEAN member states selected for ASEAN PhD Fellowship Program funded by GOI or Government of India. The program was announced on 25th January 2018 by Prime Minister Modi in presence of all 10 ASEAN member states. ASEAN stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. It is headquartered in Jakarta, Indonesia. It was started and founded in 1967. The third current affair in the national section is India's first seaplane services to be inaugurated in Gujarat. India's first seaplane services in Gujarat connecting Sabarmati River in Ahmedabad to Statue of Unity in Kewadia, Narmada district will be inaugurated on October 31st, the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the first Home Minister of India. The project is a directive of Ministry of Civil Aviation implemented through Airports Authority of India. Points to be noted here is the CM of Gujarat is Vijay Rupani, and the Governor of Gujarat is Acharya Devvrat. The Union Minister for Civil Aviation is Hardeep Singh Puri. Next is also a project related to connectivity, and the project is Bobli gets Zero Rajdhani train connecting New Delhi to Dibrugarh. A new superfast train named Zero Rajdhani has been started between New Delhi and Dibrugarh at India's longest rail road bridge throughout the Brahmaputra, the Bobli. The railroad bridge is 4.94 kilometers long, and the Zero Rajdhani train will save time for about 100 kilometers. The Union Minister for Railways is Piyush Goyal. Next is also a project related to connectivity, and the project is actually happening in Iran, and the current affair is Government of India extends 40% discount on cargo movement at Chabahar port in Iran. The Ministry of Shipping has extended current concessional rate of 40% discount for coastal movement of cargo vessel between Jawaharlal Nehru Port and Deen Dayal Port to and from Shahid Beheshti Port, Chabahar in Iran for period of 1 year from now. The Jawaharlal Nehru Port is in Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra, and Deen Dayal Port is in Kandla, Gujarat. The Chabahar port is known as the Shahid Beheshti Port, and the capital of Iran is Tehran. President of Iran is Hassan Rouhani, and the supreme leader of Iran is Ali Khamenei. The currency of Iran is Rial. Iran recently introduced a new currency to counter American sanctions, and it is known as Toman. From this, we move on to the next current affair in the national news, and it is Narendra Singh Tomar launches Ayushman Shahankar scheme. The Union Minister for Agriculture Narendra Singh Tomar launched Ayushman Shahankar scheme formulated by National Cooperative Development Corporation. The scheme aims to provide and bring transformation in the health services primarily in rural areas. The NCDC, or the National Cooperative Development Corporation, will extend term loans to prospective corporates to tune of 10,000 crores in the coming years. The Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare is Dr. Harshavardhan. From the national affairs, we move on to defense news, and the first defense news is India successfully test fire BrahMos missile from INS Chennai. India successfully test fired the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile from Indian Navy's indigenously built stealth destroyer INS Chennai, with weapon hitting a pre-designated target in Arabian Sea. The BrahMos supersonic cruise missile is a project jointly designed, developed and produced by India and Russia. The supersonic cruise missile can be launched from submarine, ships, aircrafts and land platforms. It is having a top speed of Mach 2.8, which is 2.8 times the speed of sound. The BrahMos initially had a range of 290 kilometers, and now it has been extended to a range of 400 kilometers. The next news in the defense section is 8th India-Sri Lanka Maritime Exercise SILNEX 20 begins. The 8th edition of annual bilateral maritime exercise between Indian Navy and Sri Lankan Navy started on October 19th and ended in 21st October 2020. The Indian Navy was represented by indigenously built ASW corvettes Kamorta and Kiltan. Sri Lankan Navy will be represented by Sri Lankan Navy ships Saurya, which is an offshore patrol vehicle, and Gajabahu, a training ship. Points to be noted here is 24th Chief of Naval Staff is Admiral Karambir Singh, and the founding date of Indian Navy is on 26th January 1950. The next news in the defense section is India successfully completes night trial of nuclear capable Prithvi 2 missile. India has successfully completed and conducted the night trial of its nuclear capable Prithvi 2 missile from integrated test range at Chandipur near Balasore of Odisha coast. The state of the art missile is India's first indigenously built surface-to-surface strategic missile developed by DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. The missile is 9 meter tall and is having liquid propulsion, and its range is 350 kilometers and can carry 1 ton of nuclear warhead. Points to be noted here is DRDO's chairman is Dr. G. Satish Reddy and headquarters of DRDO is in New Delhi. Next important current affair in the defense section is India successfully test fires SANT missile off Odisha coast. STAND stands for Standoff Anti-Tank Missile, and it was tested successfully from integrated test range of Odisha coast. It is an upgraded version of anti-tank missile that can be launched from helicopter called NAG Helena or Helena NAG. The SANT is an air-to-surface missile developed by DRDO for the Indian Air Force. The SANT can destroy targets within a range of 15 to 20 kilometers. The integrated test range of Odisha coast is in Abdul Kalam Island. Earlier, we discussed a maritime exercise between India and Sri Lanka called the SILNEX 20. Now, from there, we move on to inclusion of Australia in naval exercise between India, US, and Japan called the Malabar Exercise 2020. The Malabar exercise, which was held between India, US, and Japan, has now invited Australia to participate in it. India has invited Australia to participate in Trilateral Naval Exercise Malabar 2020, which is scheduled to be held in November 2020 in the Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. The exercise will be held in non-contact at sea format, and the Malabar exercise was started in 1992 as bilateral exercise between Indian Navy and US Navy. Later, Japan joined the naval exercise in 2015. And now Australia joins the exercise in 2020, making it a quadrilateral maritime exercise. This is also in association with the Quad grouping to counter Chinese presence in the Indian Ocean region. The Chief of Naval Staff is Admiral Karambir Singh, and the founding date of Indian Navy is 26 January 1950. These are the 2 points to be noted in addition here. With this, we come to the conclusion of defense section, and from there we move on to our next section, which is the state news. UP Governor launches Safe City projects for women safety. The Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel has launched Safe City Project, a women safety campaign in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. The project is 180-day long campaign. UP Governor flagged off 100 pink scooters and 10 four-wheeler police vehicles as part of the campaign, and the vehicles are equipped with first aid kits, flashlights, and other facilities. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister is Yogi Adityanath. Governor of Uttar Pradesh is Anandiben Patel. The executive legislative capital of Uttar Pradesh is Lucknow, while the judicial capital is in Allahabad. The next news is related to Odisha. Odisha CM Naveen Patnaik launches Mo Vidyut Portal, an electricity consumer service portal, and a mobile app has also been launched along with it. Chief Minister of Odisha is Naveen Patnaik. Capital of Odisha is Bhubaneswar, and Odisha Governor's name is Ganeshi Lal. Next news is a news related to Assam. The Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Nitin Gadkari, virtually laid the foundation stone for first ever multi-modal logistics park of India at Johipapa in Assam. The logistic park will provide direct connectivity to air, road, rail and waterways to the people of Assam and other parts of Northeast. Overall cost of the project is 693.97 crores, and it is part of the Bharatmala Pradiyojana Yojana of the Union Government. Chief Minister of Assam is Sarbananda Sonowal, and the Governor of Assam is Professor Jagdish Mukhi. From Odisha, we move on to Maharashtra. An important current affair in this section is the news related to ADB Bank and India inks 177 million US dollar loan for development of 450 kilometers of state highway and major district roads in Maharashtra. Chief Minister of Maharashtra is Uddhav Thackeray. Governor of Maharashtra is Bhagat Singh Koshyari. President of Asian Development Bank is Masatsugu Osawaka. And the headquarters of ADB is in Mandaluyong, Philippines, while ADB Bank was founded in 19 December 1966. And these are the points to be noted as GK part is concerned for competitive exams. From the state news, we move on to arts and culture. The first news is the Ministry of Culture has issued guidelines for holding cultural events in virtual mode under the scheme of components of Kala Sanskriti Vikas Yojana. The Union Minister for Arts and Culture, independent charge, is Prahlad Singh Patel. Second news related to arts and culture is Kati Bihu festival celebrated across Assam. The Kati Bihu is one of the set of 3 Bihu festivals, agriculture festivals, celebrated in the state of Assam. It is a festival of poor and it is celebrated in mid-October when the crops are growing stage and the granaries of farmers are depleting. Kati Bihu is celebrated with a lamb and it is called Sahi. Chief Minister of Assam is Sarbananda Sonowal and the Governor of Assam is Professor Jagadish Mukhi. Now there are several important current affairs related to summits and conferences. Here we discuss some important summits and conferences that was held in the first part of third week of October, and the first one is India hosts 7th meeting of Ministers of Justice of SCO or Shanghai Cooperation Organization. 7th meeting of Ministers of Law and Justice of Shanghai Cooperation Organization was virtually hosted by Indian Minister of Law and Justice, Communication and Electronics and Information Technology, Ravi Shankar Prasad. The virtual meeting was attended by Justice Ministers from China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, who are the member countries of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The headquarters of Shanghai Cooperation Organization is Beijing, China, and it was founded in 2001. The Secretary General of SCO is Vladimir Norvo. Second is the summit and conference related to sports. Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju attended Y20 Global Summit virtually. The first ever G20 Group of 20 Youth 20 Global Summit was virtually hosted by Al Khobar, Saudi Arabia, for exchanging ideas and dialogues for the empowerment of youth post-COVID, where Indian side was represented by Union Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports, Kiran Rijiju. The theme for the summit was Government Youth Dialogue on Post-COVID-19 Opportunities. The conclusion of summit was drafted with the Y20 communique and it is Future Fit, Youth Empowerment and Global Citizenship. The last news was related to summit and conferences of sports. And here we move on to the sports section. The first news in the sports section is 9 states and union territories selected for upgradation to KISCE. KISEE stands for Khelo India State Center for Excellence. 9 states and union territories, namely Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Chandigarh, Goa, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Puducherry, Tripura and Jammu and Kashmir has been selected by Ministry of Sports for upgradation to Khelo India State Center for Excellence. They will be provided assistance in bridging gaps in sports equipment, performance managers, coaches and technical supports, etc. The Union Minister for Youth and Sports Affairs is Kiran Rijiju. That was a sports news related to national arena. Now there is an important sports related news in the international arena. It is related to badminton. Nozomi Okuhara and Andres Andersen wins Denmark Open 2020. In badminton, former world champion Nozomi Okuhara of Japan clinched the Denmark Open 2020 title, beating three-time world champion Carolina Marin in women's single category. In men's single category, the world number 7 Andres Andersen of Denmark defeated the famous Rasmus Gemke. To get an overall view of the titles, here is the list. Women's single category won by Nozomi Okuhara of Japan. Men's single category won by Andres Andersen of Denmark. Men's double category won by Marcus Ellis and Chris Landrage of England. Women's double category won by Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota of Japan. Mixed double category won by Mark Lamphus and Isabel Hedrich of Germany. From the badminton court, we move on to Air Rifle Championships. And the third news India's section of sports is India's 11 wins gold in International Air Rifle Championships. In shooting, the world number 1 Elavenil Valarivan of India won the gold medal in women's event of 2020 Sheikh Rasil International Air Rifle Championship. The event was organized by Bangladesh Shooting Sport Federation (BSSF). Japan's Naoya Okada won gold in men's event, while India's Shahu Tushar Mane bagged silver. Prime Minister of Bangladesh Sheikh Hasina. Capital of Bangladesh is Dhaka, and currency of Bangladesh is Taka. These are the 3 points to be noted as part of GK is concerned. With this, we come to the conclusion of sports news, and from there we move on to recent appointments. First one is Rajkiran Rai becomes new chairman of IBA. Managing Director and CEO of Union Bank of India, Rajkiran Rai Ji, has been elected as the chairman of Indian Banks Association for the term 2020-2021. He succeeded Rajneesh Kumar as the IBA chairman after the Kumar recently retired as SBI chief. The Dinesh Kumar Khara, the chairman of State Bank of India, elected as the deputy chairman of the association. IBA headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and it was founded in 26 September 1946. Second news is a news related to extension of Home Secretary Vijay Kumar Bhalla's tenure till 2021. The Appoints Committee of the Cabinet, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has approved the extension of tenure of Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla till August 22, 2021. Bhalla is 1984 batch IAS officer of Assam Meghalaya cadre and was appointed as Home Secretary in August 2019. There are some awards and honors that happened in the third week of October, and these are being discussed as part of the current affair. And here we go. Aishwarya Sridhar wins Wildlife Photographer of the Year award. A 23-year-old Mumbai girl, Aishwarya Sridhar became the first Indian woman to win 2020 Wildlife Photographer of the Year award. This is the 56th year of the prestigious award, and her image was titled Light of Passion. She is the first and youngest girl to win the prestigious award from India in the adult category. Award winners were announced at the National History Museum in London. The second news in the award section is a news related to ISA, International Solar Alliance. ISA International Solar Awards were conferred for the first time. Solar awards were presented during the third assembly of the International Solar Alliance. First one is the Vishwesvaraya Award, and it was backed by Japan for the Asia Pacific region and the Netherlands for Europe and other region. Second is the Kalpana Chawla Award, won by Dr. Bhim Singh from IIT Delhi, India, and Dr. Aisha Anuami from Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, UAE, United Arab Emirates. Third is the Diwakar Award, won by Arpan Institute, Haryana, and Audishi Society. ISA, International Solar Alliance, was an organization which was a result of joint initiative by India and France in 2015, and it is headquartered is in Gurugram, Haryana. It is the only organization which is international organization to have headquarters in India, and it is situated in Gurugram, Haryana. The chief of ISA, International Solar Alliance, is Upendra Tripathi. Now we move on to an important section, that is science and technology. The news related to science and technology is Nokia was selected by NASA to build 4G LTE mobile network on Moon. Nokia has been selected by NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, to build first cellular network on Moon. NASA aims to return humans to Moon by 2024 and dig in for a long-term presence there under the Artemis program. The first wireless broadband communication system in space would be built on lunar surface in late 2022. Administrator of National Aeronautics and Space Administration is Jim Bridenstine. It is headquartered in Washington, D.C., United States. Chairman of the Nokia Corporation is Sari Baldauf, and headquarter of Nokia Corporation is Espoo, Finland. Next section is important days, and it is the third World Statistics Day is observed globally on 20th October 2020. Celebration of World Statistics Day 2020 is a global collaborative endeavor organized under the guidance of United Nations Statistical Commission. The theme for 2020 World Statistics Day is Connecting the World with the Data We Can Trust. This theme reflects the importance of trust, authoritative data, innovation, and public good in national statistical systems. Now we have covered almost all newses in various sections, although we are left with some newses, and we hope to include that in the miscellaneous section. First one in the miscellaneous section is India ranked 94 in Global Hunger Index 2020. India has been ranked at 94th rank among 107 nations in the Global Hunger Index 2020. And India's score is 27.2, and India has been placed in the serious category in GHI scale. Last year, India ranked 102 out of 117 countries. It also showed that country recorded 37.4% stunning rate among children under 5 and a wasting rate of 17.3%. The mortality under 5-year rate stood at 3.7%. Some neighboring countries were better ranked than India, and they are Bangladesh ranked at 75, Myanmar and Pakistan ranked at 78 and 88 position respectively, and Nepal and Sri Lanka ranked at 73rd and 64th position respectively. Second important news in the miscellaneous section is India's rank as a powerful nation in the Asia Power Index 2020. India ranked 4th most powerful country in the Asia region with a score of 39.7 out of 100, and the Asia Power Index was released by Sydney-based Lowly Institute. Asia Power Index 2020 ranks 26 countries and territories to assess the relative power of states in Asia. United States has retained the position of the most powerful country, influencing the Asia Pacific with a score of 81.6, followed by China 71.6 and Japan 41 at the second and third position. respectively. Next is a current affair related to OECD, is Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. India has acquired second rank in terms of number of migrants going to the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development countries and acquiring citizenship of those countries. China retained the top spot with 4.3 lakh migrants. From India, 3.3 lakh migrants moved, and this is 10% more than the last edition. Fourth news and the last news in the miscellaneous section is RPF launches Meri Saheli initiative on Andhra Pradesh Express. The RPF Railway Protection Force Visakhapatnam has started implementing Meri Saheli project in Andhra Pradesh Express. Andhra Pradesh Express is a train that runs from Visakhapatnam to New Delhi, and the project aims to provide protective security to women passengers. The Union Minister for Railways is Piyush Goyal. With this, we come to the conclusion. We'll soon be updating with you the current affairs section of part 2 of October 3rd week. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you, friends.
If you enjoyed this video, please do like and share, subscribe to this channel to receive expert tips and guidance for clearing various placement exams, and press the bell icon to receive instant notifications.